Hi guys, welcome to the webinar, 7 steps to the ultimate body transformation in 90 days or less. So we're going to kick off in a couple of minutes, just waiting for a few stragglers to come on board and then we'll get started. So grab a drink, go to the toilet, get ready, get a pen and paper, everything just get nice and ready and we'll kick off in a couple of minutes. Okay, we'll get going now guys. So, like I said, welcome to the webinar. The 7 steps to the ultimate body transformation in 90 days or less. These are the exact 7 steps I've been using with over 1,000 of my clients to completely rapidly transform their body in just 90 days or less. And I've even got a special guest with me today. One of my clients has just finished a workout and he's with me today to take you through a bit about how he's transformed his body and how he's transformed his life and his mindset. So that'll be great here for you as well. So we'll start. These are a few of my current clients and the transformations they've had in 90 days or less. So this is Claire here. She's now been with us 6 months. You're going to look into a great deal of her progress later. But this is what she achieved in the first 12 weeks, in the first 90 days. And as you can see, there's a huge difference there. We've got Lara, so she was actually only doing 1 session a week with us, and she's dropped 4 stone in the 90 days. Okay, and she's still maintaining it. She's still kept that off. Okay, that's what we're about. We're not about getting just about those rapid results. It's all about those long-term, maintainable, sustainable, educating you on everything that you need to know. So it's not just 90 days. You get those rapid results in the 90 days, but you keep it off for the rest of your life, and you learn how to do it yourself. We have Tina, so this was in just 10 weeks. So in 70 days she transformed from this. So she dropped about 12% body fat in those 70 days. So she's sitting at about 21% in that last picture. Really nice and toned. She toned up for a holiday. That's where we want to be getting you guys. And Tom, we prepped him for competition. I think this was 10 weeks as well. So as you can see, a huge transformation there. So really cut down. Really 10 weeks, really worked hard for it. Well done, buddy. And these are a couple of shorter transformations. So we have Kirsty here. This was just 4 weeks. Just 4 weeks and she transformed from what you see in the top pictures to what you see in the second pictures. So it doesn't take a long time to really notice a difference. If you're applying yourself, if you're dedicating yourself, if you're working hard and you're applying these 7 steps I'm about to show you, you can see huge results in just a very short space of time. And this is Natalie. So this was in 6 weeks. So you can see what a difference 6 weeks has made for Natalie. A huge difference. Looking awesome. So we'll start with introducing yourselves to me. So if you just pop in the chat box a little bit about you, what's your name, where you're from, and what's the biggest challenge that you find yourself facing in order to transform your body. So while we wait for a few to come in, we'll ask Justin here. Hi Justin. And what do you think your biggest challenge was when you first came to us? What were you struggling with the most?
I think self-belief. I was very sceptical. I didn't believe your banter. I had tried several things before, hadn't been successful, and so there's a definite barrier in terms of self-belief that actually I could do anything about it, and I was just doomed to fail.
Yeah, so you tried all these different things in the past, none of them had worked, and you thought this was just going to be the same thing, not going to happen, just going to be burning a hole in your pocket and wasting your time essentially.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so we've got Jason from Southborough, and his struggle is finding the time, so he can't find the time. Emily from Tunbridge, no motivation. Thomas again from Tunbridge, knowing what to eat, so having the knowledge and having the guidance. We've got Sarah from Horseman Den, repeated failure before, like Justin, repeated failure before, that's damaging your self-belief. Wendy from Tunbridge Wells, I don't think that I can truly make a difference, again, the same as Justin. We've got Leslie from High Brooms, depressed, find working out intimidating. And Palak from Pembury, losing stomach fat. Connor from Tunbridge Wells, I can't keep sustainable, I can't keep it consistent. Heather from Tunbridge, no support and no help given. So no help from the gym, she says. So no, when you go to the gym, you just get the general diet plan. You get or you don't even get the diet plan. You get the general exercise plan that they give to everyone. It doesn't work. We've got Andy from Hadlow, can't fit it around family life. And Celine from Kings Hill, have medical issues and no one will help me. Okay, guys, so these are some huge things, some huge barriers, some huge obstacles that we're going to be covering over the next 7 steps. I'm not teaching you how to just work around them, how to go through them, how to not let them affect you, and how to climb over them, jump through them, so they're never going to affect you ever again. So before we start, a little bit of housekeeping for you. So here's a picture of Justin in his maid's outfit, looking nice and confident after he did before. And so what I want you to do is really turn off all distractions. So turn off your mobile, turn off your Facebook, close all your web windows. Have nothing to distract you from the 7 steps that I'm about to show you today. Close. Have a pen and paper handy. Okay, a glass of water, and create an action step list. So this is key, guys. So what we need to do is, as we run through, write down as many notes, as many action steps as possible that you can implement over the next day, over the next week, over the next month, that you can start really transforming your life. Okay, action is key to getting the results that you want. And go to the toilet now, guys. I'll give you a quick minute to go to the toilet, and then we'll really crack on. So you'll all be receiving a free gift at the end of this webinar, an ebook I co-authored with one of the best personal trainers in the world at the moment, up in Bury St Edmunds. It's 99 unknown secrets that immediately melt stubborn body fat, supercharge your confidence, and bring happiness back into your life again. So this book is going to change your perceptions on diet and exercise. There's 99 action steps in there, again, that you can implement with your action steps that you're going to learn from this webinar in how to change your body rapidly. So stay along to the end and you'll all be receiving that for free. So you might be thinking, is this webinar for you? Are you going to take what you want to take from it? Okay, so are you finding it hard to lose that extra weight and getting back to that happy person that you once were? Do you remember the last time you actually felt happy? Has your progress stalled and you feel you just can't make any extra difference? So you're still going to the gym, you're still plugging away, you're still watching your weight, watching what you eat, but you just don't feel like you're making that extra last little bit of push. Or are you being left confused by all the conflicting opinions out there on what you should and you shouldn't be doing? Okay, because there's a lot out there, guys. Are you scared that if you don't start changing now, things will start getting worse and they'll start getting harder and harder to change, and you'll start getting older and older, and it's just going to head down that route that makes it more impossible? Or are you struggling to fit exercise in between your work and your personal life? And do you lack self-confidence, self-belief, and find yourself repeatedly stuck in that depressive cycle? Okay, if you're going through any of this right now, then this webinar is definitely for you, and you're going to take huge benefit from what we have to teach you today. So before we start, I'll give you a little introduction to me. So there I am. I set up Feel Good Personal Training in 2009 after I was medically discharged from the Royal Marines. And I was medically discharged because I had severe acne when I was younger. Okay, from the age of 12 to the age of about 19. I had really bad acne, and it scarred me all over my back, it scarred me all over my chest. And that's what I got medically discharged for. And that really ruined my self-confidence, it ruined my motivation, it ruined my self-belief and what I believed that I could personally achieve in myself. I almost felt like I was putting on a false front for everyone, and hiding deep inside myself. And that's kind of the situation that I'm guessing most of you guys will be feeling at the moment. That lack of confidence, that lack of self-belief. And that's why I set up Feel Good Personal Training, to help people like you and help you overcome that, because training changed that for me. Okay, now the scars are still there. The scars, they still look the same. They still, everything about me is still the same. But I've now got that confidence. I've got that self-belief, and they don't bother me anymore. And that's where we want to get you guys into that same mindset. Okay, so I took it to a little bit of an extreme and started bodybuilding. That was me in March 2014. Okay, and I've stopped bodybuilding now because I felt like I was getting too big and I didn't enjoy it. But now I've decided to devote all of my time and my attention to helping people like you. This is me with my little baby godson Max. So he was born again in March last year, about when that picture was taken, and he's a little cutie. And then I also have a dog called Bertie, and this is a picture of him after he's somehow got into my protein shakes and decided to devour the lot of them. So you can see he's got a nice innocent little look on his face, saying I didn't take your protein, but he's got it all around his chops. So, before we really get into the main stuff, give me a friend request on Facebook. You see the link down there. Just copy and paste that into your browser, type it into your browser, and add me as a friend. I'm always posting new tips. I'm always posting help, motivation, anything to really help you. Or send me a message with anything you're struggling with, okay? I'm here to make sure that you get as much help, support, and motivation that you need. So don't be hesitant to send me a message after this webinar and just say, you know, I'm struggling with this. Can you help me? So we'll have a quick look at the problem that most of you are facing at the moment. Now, it's extremely important that you're 100% honest with yourself and you're 100% honest with me throughout this webinar. Okay, so before we start, I want you to close your eyes, hold your hands on your heart, and take 10 deep breaths and really think about how your current situation is affecting your life. Okay, do that now. How's it affecting you? What's it stopping you doing? Is it stopping your relationships? Is it affecting your social events? Is it affecting your career, your work life? Okay, and how has this struggle made you feel? Struggling with the weight coming on and not being able to get it off. How's that really made you feel? Digging deep. And if you were to look forward 6 months down the line, or 90 days down the line, what would you like your most ideal outcome to be? What would you really like to achieve if you had no barriers stopping you? What would you like to achieve? And why is achieving that important to you right at this moment in time? And how does that make you feel looking at where you are now and where you want to be and the gap between that? Okay, now I want you to imagine being at your goal. So whatever your ideal outcome was, imagine that. Maybe it's a holiday in 6 months' time. Maybe it's looking fantastic for a wedding. Maybe it's, you know, going out to a party and just feeling like you're the life and the soul of it. You've got your confidence, you've got your happy back. Imagine how that's making you feel in 6 months' time. Okay, now how long have you felt like you're struggling? And how is it affecting your social lives? How is it affecting your relationships? Do you struggle to find things to wear? Do you struggle to have the confidence to go out? Do you find that you're not going out anymore? You're starting to recluse. You're not socialising with your friends, or you feel unworthy of being with your partner almost. You feel uncomfortable in the bedroom. You know, you're unhappy, so you're exuding all your unhappiness into your relationships. And now, what's driving you to change? Was there a photo? Was there something someone said? Okay, was there not being able to get into that pair of jeans that you really like? What is really driving you to say, now's the time I want to do it. Now's the time I want to change. Okay, I'm going to take action today. And if you have to look forward 6 months down the line without changing, if you have to carry on the way that you're going at the moment, where would you be? So, I'll introduce you to Justin now. So this is a bit of Justin's progress. So Justin has now been with me for 6 months, and this is the kind of progress that he's achieved in 6 months. So he's lost 22% body fat. So that's halved his body fat. Okay? His waist, he's lost 11 inches off his waist, 10 inches off his hips, and the jean size has gone from a 42 to a 34. Okay, so some massive progress. Okay, and Justin, what fears did you face when you first started training with us?
Well, even before I started, I remember the first conversation I had with you was, "I'm not coming if anyone else is there," which was
I remember that well.
A bizarre thing to say, but it was so much, I guess, dislike of myself at the idea of going into a gym and being with other people and what I perceived that gym would be like was a real fear. I had been in other gyms before, and you always had a category of people who probably didn't care about me at all, but there was a perception that I was being watched or judged for what I was. So that was a real barrier. But when it came here, that obviously that started to change.
Well, we're very different here, guys. So we've just opened our brand new Body Transformation Centre in Five Oak Green. It's the biggest and best equipped private gym in the area. Okay, so it's just used purely for personal training sessions only, purely for our clients. Okay, so when you walk in here, there's no intimidation, there's no posing, there's none of that you get in normal gyms. It's just a great atmosphere to train. It's a great atmosphere to be in, and it's designed that way to really surround you with a group of positive, highly dedicated, highly motivated individuals to really push you on and spur you to achieving more than you ever thought possible. Okay, so what about your diet, Justin? What was that like before you joined us, and what support did you have outside?
Well, diet had been a big issue for the majority of my life. For certain reasons during my upbringing, I got into particularly bad habits due to certain challenges I had as a child, and obviously that resulted in putting on weight as the years went on. I'd made efforts to deal with that, and I'd spoken with my GP, etc. However, the extent of the support from GPs.
And what did they tell you to do?
Well, seemed to be eat less and do more, which is a good theory. But the next bit is, well, how do you do that? And
it's great advice.
If there's no how, then you don't know necessarily what to do in relation to that. But in terms of when I had been trying to control what I was eating, it had been based on perceptions, I guess, in the media about the importance of low-fat food and simply the idea of calorie reduction and looking at those two things. And as a result of that, I was thinking, okay, I've got this number of calories per day. How can I make best use of them? When do I feel hungriest? I feel most hungry at the end of a day, so therefore I'm going to literally starve myself all day, feel fairly weak and unproductive, and then get home and pig out. But the result of having all that food at the end of the day was that I would then quickly lose control. All that control I had during the day would disappear at night. I'd be shoving this food down myself, and then I would feel guilty and consequently eat more to make myself feel better. And the whole cycle would repeat the next day. And actually it got to a point where food was almost like self-harm. I was eating into the point that I was hurting myself every night, almost to punish myself for having lost control at the end of the day.
So there's a couple of cycles that we've got going on with Justin there, guys. So the first one is the starvation response that our body goes through. So he said he was almost starving himself throughout the day, okay, and then eating a load later. And the way we've evolved is when we don't have food coming in, we don't have a constant supply of nutrients, we don't have a constant supply of energy coming into us. So we're going back to our hunter-gatherer days. That's why we've evolved this way. We have what's called a starvation response. Okay, so when we don't have that constant supply of nutrients, our body doesn't know when it's going to get its next big meal. So it decides to store everything. So it goes into what's called a superconcentrative state. And every bit of nutrients that you consume after that, so when Justin was going home and having that big meal and really eating loads to almost punish himself, then all of that was getting stored. Because the body was going, okay, well, I don't know when I'm going to get that next meal. So you're storing that all as fat. Okay, so it would be used in the fat reserves later. Then we've also got the success cycle and the depressive cycles that are going on there. Okay, now we'll get into a bit more about that later, but imagine a big spring. Okay, so you've got a big spring and you're in the centre, but you're never ever staying stagnant. Okay, you can't stay stagnant. You're either going up or you're going down. And there's 4 processes in this cycle. Okay, it starts with belief. It starts with what you believe. So when Justin came to us, he didn't believe he could achieve these kind of results. Okay, and that's why he was in this depressive cycle. That's why he was going down instead of he should have been going up. We changed it. We got him to believe that he could achieve these results. And once you believe that you can achieve them, then you have the potential to achieve them. So when you don't believe you can achieve something, there's no way you're going to achieve something. When you do believe, you've got the potential. Okay, when you've got the potential, you take the action to achieve it. And you don't just take the action, you take 10 times the amount of action that you need to be doing. And once you're taking 10 times the amount of action, you're going to get fantastic results like Justin here. Okay, and once you've got these fantastic results, you believe in yourself even more, and you have more potential, and you take more action, and then you get better results, and it goes up and up and up, and that's the cycle that we're talking about. That's the positive side of it. Okay, now most of you right now are going to be stuck in the depressive side. Okay, so it's exactly the same. You don't believe you can achieve the kind of results that you want. You don't truly believe it. And that means you don't have the potential to achieve it. And if you don't have the potential, you're not going to be taking the action. You're not going to have the behaviours that you need to have in place to get those kind of results. And then you're not going to get the results. And then you'll believe in yourself even less. You're going to take less. You're going to have less potential. You're going to take less action. You're going to get less results. You're going to believe in yourself even less. Okay, and that's how how the mind works. And I'm guessing most of you right now are stuck in that depressive cycle. So what's changed in your mindset, Justin, since you started training with us?
Specifically in relation to the training?
In relation to the training, in relation to... Let's start with the training.
So, well, training at first, I mean, it was a whole new world for me because exercise was simply not part of my life. And when I first started training, apart from being incredibly tiring and very, very different to anything I had done before, there was built in those feelings you just talked about, this idea of, well, it's bound to fail, and when I wasn't being successful at something in the gym, then I did feel like I was failing. But that has radically changed very, very quickly, actually, because I saw the progress, and therefore every step I was thinking, well, okay, I couldn't do that then, I can do this now, so therefore when I can't do something in the future, it's simply a matter of eventually it will happen. So this idea of I can't do it yet, I can't be, I'm not good enough to do that yet, but you have to keep on trying it until you can do it. So the approach changed from one of increased motivation, because you could see that something was going to happen in the future. Just because it wasn't happening now, it didn't matter.
So when you came to us, you didn't have, when you couldn't do something, I remember you almost getting, if you don't mind me saying, quite stroppy, because you couldn't do something and you felt like you were failing, and you felt like you weren't achieving what you wanted to achieve, and that was getting you down.
Absolutely, and that had been a pattern in my life generally, in many areas of my life. I still throw the occasional strop every now and then, but broadly speaking, that mentality has changed. So this idea of not being able to do something, first of all, means you're a failure. It doesn't. It just means that you can't do it yet.
Yeah, excellent question. And how about in the way it's affected your emotions and your personality and the way you feel about yourself and your life outside of the gym?
Well, incredibly more confident, really. I mean, I was sort of verging on. You were talking earlier on about the idea of where you are now and what you want to be, and I've heard a definition of self-esteem being the bigger the gap between those two, the lower your self-esteem.
Yeah, definitely.
And so my self-esteem was pretty damn low, and also there was a paranoia there. I talked earlier on about the idea of being looked at or being judged, and likelihood is nobody cared. But there was this paranoia in my head that I was being looked at, I was being judged because of what I looked like on the outside, rather than me. And so that was not a healthy place to be in emotionally. And I'd had speaking therapies for that as well, actually, because of my emotional health, my mental health. And So I was in a pretty low place, and that has changed dramatically now. Much happier, much more confident, and being able to not worry really about what other people think of me so much.
Oh, well, maybe you told me a story about swimming. Was it you haven't been swimming in a long time, and a couple of weeks into training with us, you started swimming again?
Yeah, and I hadn't been swimming since primary school. And I remember it was always something I really enjoyed, and I stopped swimming when I started putting on weight. I remember that very, very clear link. And
at what age did you stop swimming?
That would have been 11, 12 maybe, and shortly after training with you, I went abroad, and I used a swimming pool at the hotel, and then when I came back, I started swimming here as well. And yeah, I'm still not not a vision of beauty, but it doesn't matter to me so much. It matters that I'm there for a purpose, because I enjoy it and because I know it's doing me good. And if somebody has an issue with with seeing me, then that's more about their problem. I remember seeing a graphic quite recently about why would you laugh at laughing at a fat person at the gym is like going into a cancer ward and laughing at somebody trying to recover from cancer. Both people are trying to get better, so why would you laugh at one and not the other? And so that's sort of that mentality of it doesn't. If you think that's your problem, not mine.
And how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking that rude question?
Well, I didn't know we didn't have personal. I'm 43 now.
43, so that's 11 to 43, not swimming from the age of 11 to 43, because worrying about how other people are going to judge you, how other people are going to see you, and that's changed. That's changed within a matter of weeks for Justin, okay? That's a kind of quick shift that you can change now. Okay, so just before we move on, can you just enlighten me a bit about this quote that you put up here? I used to just be proud of my work, now I'm proud of me.
Well, I think linked to what I said a few minutes ago about how other people saw me, so therefore it was really important for me to be seen in a good light, and therefore I immersed myself for 20 good years in my career, to such an extent it dominated my life, because I could demonstrate very effectively, I would argue, how good I could be at work, but I let that dominate myself to an extent that I was easily spending 14, 15 hours a day working, because that was an area in which I could be proud. I can show other people my impact. And one of the commitments I made when I started working with you was to put that in perspective, and to think, well, if one of the things that is stopping me exercise, or I thought was stopping me exercise, maybe that's more accurate, is actually the time I was working, well, I'm going to leave work earlier on these particular days. And so I've put work a bit more in perspective in terms of my whole life. But alongside that, yeah, I am very proud of what I've achieved. I'm very proud of me as a person, rather than of just what I do.
So you almost overcompensating for your lack of pride in yourself, in putting all that into your work and prioritising your work over your own health, because you weren't proud of yourself. You need to be proud of something.
Yeah.
And that's what was all going into your work.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Justin's progress. Now we'll move on to another one of my clients' progress, and this is Claire. Now Claire has also been with us about 6 months now, and you can see from the first picture to the second picture here on your right what a huge difference that there has been. So she's also dropped just under 20% body fat, so 18% body fat gone, 10 whole inches off her waist, 12 inches off her hips, and halved her size from a size 24 dress to a size 12 dress. Okay, now this again shows you the potential you have to change out there. Okay, if she can do it and Justin can do it, there's no reason that you can't do it. There's no genes that they've had that's different. Okay, there's nothing different about them to you. There's no reason that you can't achieve that. If you apply the 7 steps that we're going to outline now, and you dedicate yourself and you motivate yourself and you commit to achieving these results, there's no reason that you cannot achieve them. Okay, so Claire stopped hating herself. She feels like the real her has finally come out, and it's been amazing watching her progress from start to finish every single week. Okay, not just in terms of physical change, but in mental change and the happiness that she felt. Okay, and the bubbliness and the energy that now surrounds her. Okay, and the positivity that she brings with her to the gym in every single session that she's here. Comes in jumping and bubbling and smiling and laughing, okay? And how that affects everyone else in that session as well. Okay, it's not just a physical change, that guys, it's the mental change in the mind. There's no diet, there's no exercise plan that is half as good as getting weight off, as sorting out your mindset and changing your perceptions of diet and exercise and breaking those bad relationships with food. And that's what we're really going to dig into in this webinar. Okay, and in my experience, what the real problem is, okay, my experience of over 6 years of starting with Feel Good Personal Training and setting Feel Good Personal Training up and transforming over 1,000 clients' lives. Okay, so there's a lot of experience there, and what I believe the real problem is there's a real lack of self-belief, of belief that you can really make a difference. So there's upper limiting problems there. Okay, where your mind is setting yourself limitations and setting yourself, capping what your true potential really is. Okay, that goes back to what we were saying before about the positive cycles and the depressive cycles that we all go through. Or like Justin, you have a distinct fear of failing, so you've tried all these things in the past, you've tried whatever you've tried, and there's subconsciously you feel like there's no point in trying anything again, and somehow you're the one person that's doomed to failure. You're the one person that cannot physically change your body. Well, I'm telling you now, you're not. Okay, you can change your body. All you need to do is take action. Apply the 7 steps that we're going to go through now. Take action, take commitment, get dedicated, and be consistent, and you will achieve the results you want to achieve. Okay, maybe you're surrounded by negative influences on a daily basis. Everyone's surrounded by negative influences. Your peer group is critical. Okay, so that's what I've tried to create here, which is why we've almost got quite a tough selection process almost, and I have to see that you're determined and you're motivated before I allow you to start working with us. Okay, because what I've tried to create and what I've done very well actually is create almost a unity and a movement and a family essentially of highly motivated, highly dedicated individuals that will help spur you on and push you to achieving more than you ever thought possible. So they're your positive influences. Okay, so you can rely on them instead of the negative influences around your life. And you've got to really think, it may be quite hard, but you almost got to consciously spend less time with these negative influences. Okay, because they're going to be dragging you down. Then you must be willing to change your beliefs and your perceptions. If you're not willing to truly change what you believe that you can achieve, and change all the information that's gone into your mind over the last 10, 20, 30 years. If you're not willing to change that, you're never going to change yourself. And you need to take action. So not just normal action, you've got to take 10 times action. Okay, you've got to look at that goal you want to achieve and you've got to multiply that by 10. And then you multiply what you need to do to get to that result by 10. And be prepared to do so now. Okay, don't wait till tomorrow. If you keep waiting till tomorrow, if you keep putting off, if you keep procrastinating, it's never going to happen. You've got to do so now. So make these action points as we go through these 7 steps and take action. Start implementing them tomorrow. Start implementing them tonight. Okay, take action. That's the only way you're going to see results. And there's so many conflicting beliefs out there. Okay, like I said, there's myths everywhere, and you felt this a lot, haven't you, Justin? That you're just left confused and frustrated, and you don't know where to start.
Well, certainly. I mean, the information that Feel Good gave me when I first started, it was completely different to anything I had been advised before. In terms of the types of foods that I should be eating. Previously, what I thought I should be eating had made me feel that I was depriving myself, whereas the foods that I am eating now, I don't have that. I don't have those thoughts and those feelings. And there's so much conflicting information out there. But if you're pointed in the right direction, where to look, then you can actually narrow that down, and actually find out what genuinely works.
And you also set yourself false excuses. Okay, so you say you don't have the time. You say you can't afford it. You say you don't have the energy. Okay, now what you really think is are these actually true? Okay, Justin, how many hours do you spend with us a week?
Just the 3.
Just three
Just
three hours.
3. And that's nothing, is it? Out of the whole week.
There's 168 hours in a week. Okay, and you're spending 3 of them here, and you're getting those kind of fantastic results and changing, not just your body, but your mind, your life, everything, for 3 hours a week. Do you really not have the time to apply 3 hours a week to changing your body and changing your life? Okay, people say they can't afford it. Okay, well, it's not expensive, guys. It's a lot cheaper than a night out. It's a lot cheaper than a handbag. A hell of a lot cheaper than a handbag. People say they don't have the energy. What I want to ask you, are these actually true?
Certainly the energy thing with me was about the food I was eating and felt I should be eating, because, again, that is either due to the lack of guidance given to me or by the information I picked up from the media. These low fat, low calorie foods were not giving me enough energy to function properly. And when I started, I was really quite worried about whether I'd have enough energy to come here and to do the exercises. But it was really because I was eating the wrong things I didn't have enough energy, not because I wasn't capable of having that energy.
And you've just changed your training times, haven't you? Because you feel like you have the energy to train later now.
Absolutely. So now I can stay. I was very worried at first about being able to come here after work. I have long days, and that's important to me as well. Work is still important to me. But now, I've changed my times. I can come later in the evenings here because it's not a barrier anymore. The energy factor is simply not a barrier. I know that I will have energy to do what I need to do here because now the food intake is right.
So what I want you to really do, guys, is look at these excuses that you feel you're not making a change because of. Look at them and ask yourself, are they really true? Okay, are they true? Or are they a concoction of stories and lies that you keep telling yourself in your head? Okay, to keep putting it off. Okay, we're open 24/7 here. So we've completely blitzed that time barrier. There's no time barrier now. Okay, because you can train whenever you need to. Okay, energy. People say they don't have the energy to train. Well, what I'm asking you, do you have the energy not to get up off your ass and go and change your life? Okay, you might think I've gone a bit crazy now, but would you not agree that it takes more energy to live with being overweight and unhappy with yourself? Okay, and facing those tasks that just made 20 times harder, so that depression, that lack of self-motivation, okay, struggling to decide what you want to go out with at night, and that natural restriction of movement that comes with being overweight, or affecting your social events or your relationships, or even your health. Okay, would you not agree with me? It takes more energy to explain to your loved ones that you've got diabetes or you've got heart disease, or maybe not even getting the chance, just like my father, not getting the chance to not explain to your family before that kind of sickness takes you. Okay, because that's what happened to my father. Would you not agree that it takes more energy to do that and to live with being overweight than it takes to spend 3 hours a week at the gym changing your life? So we move on now to the determination versus progress problem. Okay, so this is normally what you feel when you start a new training regime, when you start a New Year's resolution, when you're really looking forward to changing your body, and it only lasts a few weeks or a month or so, and you have this huge amount of determination that you see here. Okay, and you start off really pumped and really motivated and really energetic, but then you don't get the progress. Okay, and when you don't get the progress that you thought you were going to get, you get frustrated. And you get that dwindling determination. And before you know it, so like I say, in 2, 3, 4 weeks, you then don't have any determination left, and you die out, and you don't get those results, and you stop and you give up. So what's the solution to this? This is a solution. Okay, and this is what we implement here. So we take your determination, the determination that you've got, and we apply our knowledge and our guidance. Because that's what you were lacking before. And that environment, those positive influences around you, that accountability where we make sure we check in with you every week, we're measuring you every 2 weeks. You need that accountability, guys. Okay, and when you add determination to the knowledge, the environment, to the positive influence and that accountability, that's when you get the kind of progress you see here from Tina and Lara. That's when you get the huge progress. That's when you start changing your life. Okay, so it's not just enough anymore just to have that determination. You need everything. You need the whole lot. Okay, and that's what these 7 steps are going to teach you. We're going to teach you the knowledge side of things. And then you've got to have that accountability. So you've got to be taking measurements. Not weights, you've got to be taking tape measurements, you've got to be taking photos. Because they're going to be the real ways that show you how you're changing and how you're moving forward. And then you've got to surround yourself with a positive peer group and friends that are going to help spur you on and push you to achieving more than you ever thought. And then, and only then, will you get that kind of huge progress that we're getting with our clients here. So before we start, why should you listen to me? Okay, so that might be going through your head now. Why should I listen to this guy? So it's because I get results. Okay, now up here, these are some typical results that you can achieve, and I have achieved with my clients over 90 days or less. I think I remember when I said to Justin, this is what you can achieve in the next 12 weeks. You looked at me.
Didn't believe you.
Yeah,
no, yeah, I thought it was rubbish.
Yeah, he looked at me and he was like, all right then, okay Neil, yeah, keep chatting.
Dream on. Yeah.
and he did. Okay, and these are the results that you can achieve in 90 days or less. So you're looking at 3 stone. You're looking at 14% body fat off. You're looking at dropping 4 dress sizes and 9 inches from your waist. Okay, I've achieved all of these results in 90 days or less. There is no reason that you cannot achieve them if you apply yourself, if you apply these 7 steps and you're dedicated and you're committed and you believe that you can achieve them, then you can. So now this is a very powerful quote. Okay, you're in control of your own life. You're in control of your own body and your own destiny. The life you lead, the way you look and the way you feel, they're all direct consequences of the choices you make. Everything around you, everything that you feel right now, the way you look, everything in your life has all come from choices you have previously made. And it's up to you to make those choices. No one else can make them for you. Okay, you may have peer pressure from other people, pressuring you into making other choices, but essentially it's down to you. It's down to you to take action, it's down to you to take the right choices, and it's down to you to change your life. So we're going to move on to the first step now. Now don't waste your time with inefficient exercise. I see it all the time. I see it in gyms, I see it in parks, I see it in boot camps. People just wasting their time with inefficient exercise. You need to get outside of your comfort zone. You need to get outside that little bubble of comfort that you've been happy with, going to the gym and running on the treadmill for 20 minutes and getting on the bike for 20 minutes and then row for 20 minutes, like they give you in the generic gym plans when you go there. You need to get outside of that. You need to push yourself. You need to achieve more. And the only way you're going to achieve more is by pushing outside of what you've been doing in the past. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're always going to get the same results. Okay, now why are you spending all your time in the gym on the cardio machines? Okay, a lot of people come to me and they say, because we use a lot of resistance training here, they say, I don't want to use weights, I don't want to flip tyres, I don't want to push sledges, I don't want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're not going to, guys, okay? It's a big misconception. It takes a hell of a lot of work, it takes a hell of an amount of effort, it takes a hell of a lot of food and a hell of a lot of calories to get bulky and to put on muscle. Okay? You need to be eating a lot more than you're burning for your body to physically be able to put on muscle. Using weights will not make you bulky. In fact, they're proven to be the best way to rapidly drop your body fat fast and really tone you up and get that kind of Victoria's Secret look that that most people aspire to, or the superhero look that most men aspire to. Okay, using weights will not make you bulky. And now look at yourself in the gym. Okay, imagine yourself going through a typical workout that you went through last week or last month or last year, whenever the last time you were in the gym. And were you pushing beyond your limits? Or were you just going through the motion? I see it all the time in normal gyms. People just going through the motions, just turning up to the gym and they're not really achieving anything. Okay, and I saw it when I was in gyms from a young age, that you'd see people year in, year out that looked exactly the same, even though they were training 4 or 5 times a week. And that's because they weren't pushing their limits. They were just going through the motions.
I mean, what you described was very much my previous experience of gyms. It was, sit down, write your direct debit out. Here we go. Right, can you do 15 minutes treadmill, 15 minutes elliptical trainer, 15 minutes bike? Boom, boom, boom. There you go. And there was no one pushing me, so therefore I would do what was comfortable. And there were no changes, and as a result, you lost faith because there was no change and no motivation, and therefore I gave up. And you sort of think, well, after all this time, shouldn't there be a change? And there were none. Yeah,
it's a problem a lot of people are facing, and I see it on a daily basis, guys. Okay, so really ask yourself: is that what you're going through right now? And are you varying your workouts regularly? You need to avoid over-adaptation. Your body is an incredibly intelligent machine almost, and it adapts very quickly to the same exercises, okay, and the same intensity levels and the same, effort. You need to keep varying it regularly. This is a very powerful picture. I like this picture. So, suffer the pain of discipline or suffer the pain of regret. The reason I like this picture is it's almost how it epitomises how a lot of people are feeling right now. Like there's someone inside you, and you're putting on this front for everyone else, and you're trapped inside. Okay, and that's what we want to change. Okay, so now we'll move on to the second step. Okay, it's not all about calorie counting. It's not about starving yourself like most people believe it is. Most dieters eat too little. This is not sustainable. It's just not needed. Okay, as we went into earlier with Justin about the starvation response, eating too little is counterproductive to losing weight. And you should be working on creating new habits and a new lifestyle. What's the point in dieting? There's no point, unless you're going for a competition or a photo shoot or something, there's no point in dieting from A to B. It's not about a diet, it's more of an education, it's more of a lifestyle. Something that you can apply every day for the rest of your life. Okay, so you can keep the results. And then it's not just like you have when you take Herbalife or Slimming World or something like that, where you lose a lot of weight very quickly and then it doesn't just go on again, it goes on even more. That's not what we're about here, it's educating you. For example, a calorie is not just a calorie, so why are you calorie counting? When all calories aren't created equal, why are you calorie counting? Okay, is a calorie of chocolate equal to a calorie of chicken? Is a calorie of cake equivalent to a calorie of vegetables? No, it's not. Okay, nutrient timing is the most important aspect, and that's what we're going to get onto a bit later towards the end of the webinar. Okay, really dig into the nutrient timing, how you time your nutrients and how you have your macronutrients, so the proteins, the fats, and the carbs, and where you place them around the day. And don't shy away from fats, guys. It's been brainwashed into us from a very early age that fats are bad. Even doctors are still prescribing it. They're still saying fats are bad for you. They're not. As we'll prove later, fats are essential to fat loss. Fats are essential to maintaining a healthy body. So why are you going for the low-fat foods? Okay, we'll go into that a bit later, but you really need to think about that. And you need to ensure that you're getting enough protein and you're cutting down on your carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are, I'm not saying cut them out. It's very bad if you cut out all your carbohydrates. But they're very, very easily overeaten. And most people are overeating them without even realising it. So another powerful picture. Obstacles can't stop you. Problems can't stop you. And most of all, other people can't stop you. The only one that can stop you is yourself. And again, that's what we're talking about with these mental limitations and these objections that we stop ourselves with. Okay, we make up these excuses. Okay, instead of working around them, working through them, we just you know, kind of give it a half-assed attempt and then never get anywhere. The only one stopping you achieving your results and the results you want and the body you want and the life you want to lead is yourself. So, fat-free products and marketing scams, and this is where I'll probably get a bit angry actually. So, fat-free products are normally worse for your waistline. Okay, and it's been programmed into us with marketing. It's been programmed into us from doctors. It's been programmed into us from scientific studies that apparently say that fat is bad for you when they're not. Okay, and that's what the new information is coming out with, that fat-free products are not good for you. Okay, so what happens is when they take the fat out of a product, out of milk, out of butter, out of cheese, out of yogurt, when they take the fat out of that, they take the taste away. And to get the taste back in, they've got to replace it with something. That's normally sugar. It's normally sugar, it's normally some kind of chemicals.
When you told me to, we talked about the diet plan right at the beginning, or the food plan, and you told me to go for the full-fat Greek yogurt. And I was amazed how difficult it was to find full-fat Greek yogurt amongst all the shells and shells of diet yogurt, of fat-free yogurt. It's the the default setting must be at least 80% out there is low fat.
It's because it sells. Because it makes more money. Because of the education that we've had and the brainwashing that we've had almost from the media. Okay, it's because it sells more. That's why it's harder to find it. But it's not good for you guys. It's not good for your waistline, it's not good for your health, and it's not good for your body. And saturated fats, they've got such a bad press, but they're not bad for you like the media suggests. Okay, they're getting saturated fats mixed up with trans fats, which are polyunsaturated fats pretending to be saturated fats. Okay, new studies that have been brought out have shown that saturated fats are not bad for you at all. It's the trans fats that can't be metabolized by the body. So stuff like margarine, stuff like when you cook with oil, okay, in processed foods, they're bad for you because your body cannot metabolize them. Without going into too much of a science session, basically the polyunsaturated fat, when it's heated to a certain degree, it can even be heated if you get low quality vegetable oil in a see-through container and you leave it in the sun. Okay? If you get that gets turned into a trans fat, and trans fats cannot be metabolized by the body, so they get stored. And where do they get stored? They get stored in the fat cells, they get stored around the organs, and they get stored in the arteries. And that's what leads to heart disease, and that's why fats have had such a bad reputation. Then you've also got the clever marketing campaigns and the multi-level marketing schemes. Okay, that con you into buying things that you don't need, the Herbalifes, the Juice Plus, the Body by VI, the Cambridge Diet, all of these marketing campaigns that cost an absolute fortune, okay, and actually really, really badly affect your health. Okay, I'm not saying, you lose weight with them, you lose weight fast, but it's the wrong kind of weight. Okay, and it's not sustainable weight loss. So as soon as you finish with them, you can't carry on with them forever. Because your body won't be able to sustain it. But once you finish with them, you don't just put the weight back on, you put on more than you lost. Because we go into that super concentrative state, like I said, so your body is then sucking all the nutrients it can out of everything it's got. And it puts on more weight than you left off. So it's not a sustainable change. Okay, they're marketed as being healthy and they're marketed as being organic and natural. Look at the back of these. If you've got, I'm sure most of you have tried something like this. Look at the back of the tub. How many chemicals does it have in it? How many names has it got there that you can't pronounce? Okay, guys, you don't need this to lose weight. You don't need any special pill. You don't need any raspberry ketones. You don't need any of this to lose weight. All you need is yourself. Then we've also got healthy foods, or should I say healthy foods with quotation marks, that are actually far from it. Okay, stuff like cereals, the cereals you buy from your kids, it's got a nice green barrier at the top, nice green banner. Okay, make it being marketed as being healthy. You've got Special K, you've got fruit juices, you've got smoothies, you've got juice bars, you've got whole companies built around these healthy foods that are actually far from being healthy and will actually make your waistline a lot worse. You need to be aware of this going on around you guys. Okay, so you really need to look. Sugar, everything you consume should have no more than 5 grams of sugar per 100 grams. You need to look at these things. Okay, there's so much conflicting information out there. How many times have you tried diet plans? Have you tried exercise regime? Have you tried juice diets? Have you tried anything, 30-day rapid challenges that just haven't worked? Okay, there's all this conflicting information out there. You need to be aware of what you need to be focusing on. And your body will be around a lot longer than that expensive handbag. Invest in yourself. Okay, people think it's expensive, they think it's expensive to eat healthy. They think it's expensive to invest in a personal trainer, but it's not. It's not expensive. There are cheaper ways of doing it, but it's an investment in yourself. Okay, you need to be healthy. You need to be able to look after your kids and be happy within yourself. Okay, when you buy nice clothes and nice handbags and nice shoes, okay, it might give you that short-term happiness, but how does that make you feel long-term? Does it really change the way you're feeling yourself long-term? And the way you think and the way you act is key. So you need to confront your fears. You can never truly reach your potential until you push outside of what you're scared of. Okay, if you're scared of doing something, if you're turning up to the gym and you're nervous, okay, or you're doing something that you're not quite sure about, okay, as long as you've got that expert guidance there and you're pushing outside your comfort zone, that's when the results come. When you're confronting what you're scared of, resistance and fear is a sign that you're heading in the right direction. And you need to set yourself a goal. You need to set yourself a focus. You need to set yourself a plan. And you need a muse, you need an inspiration to pull you through. So what's your goal? Look forward 90 days. Look forward 6 months. What have you got coming up? Have you got a holiday? If you haven't, go and book one. If you've got a race, if you haven't, go and book one. You need a focus, you need a goal, you need something to focus on. Okay, so maybe you want to go swimming in the summer and you need a nice bikini and you're a size 12 now and you want to be a size 8 by that time. Well, go out and buy a size 8 bikini. Go and spend a load of money on it. Go and get outside of your comfort zone and put that anywhere that you're going to see it every single day. Okay, you've got a big meeting coming up or a big wedding and you want to get into a 32 waist size suit trousers. Okay, and you're now 38. Go and buy that damn suit. Spend a load of money on it. If you spend a load of money on a suit, you are going to make sure that you get into that suit. You need that muse, you need that inspiration. Okay, and don't be one of that 90%. So 90% of the people that watch this webinar are not going to apply anything from it. 90% of the people that watch this webinar are not going to make a change from the information I'm giving you here because they're not going to apply it. Don't be one of those 90%. They do it all the time. They read audiobooks, listen to audiobooks, they read books, they invest in programs, and they don't apply any of the stuff that they learn. Don't be one of those 90%. Take action and take it today. That's the only way you're going to make that change. You've got to learn how to prioritise yourself and your health first. We see it on a daily basis. Okay, it's not being selfish, guys. We see nurses coming, we see carers, we see teachers, we see parents, people that are prioritising everyone else before themselves, and their health takes a back seat, and their health, isn't worried about, and it's just not focused on. It's not being selfish to look after yourself 3-4 times a week, because you're going to be able to apply more back into looking after someone else. You're going to be able to apply the knowledge and what you've learned into looking after yourself, into looking after your family. You're going to have more time to spend with your kids. You're going to have more productivity. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more vibe about you. Okay, so you've got to learn that it's not being selfish, looking after yourself. And then you've got to block off times in the day to prepare. It's proven that if you block a time in your calendar to do something, then it gets done. So book it in your calendar. Book half an hour, 45 minutes tonight to work on your meal prep. Okay? To get some meals prepared for tomorrow. And don't let the little slips get you down. Again, that's what we talked about in these depressive cycles. So people have a chocolate, they go out for a meal with their spouse on an anniversary, and they have what they want to eat, which is fair enough. But then they let it get them down. And they think, oh, you know what? I've had one biscuit. I'm just going to have the whole packet. because I've had one biscuit and now I'm just on a downward spiral. Okay, and that's when people end up giving up and they end up losing the motivation and they end up not getting the results that they want. Okay, if you were to eat junk food all week and you would have one healthy meal, would that healthy meal make a difference? No, it wouldn't. If you were to eat healthy all week and you had one junk meal, would that make a difference? No, it wouldn't. Okay, like I said, it's not about a diet. It's not about an A to a B diet. It's about a lifestyle. And that's what we try and teach you. So that if you do have an anniversary coming up, a birthday, you can go and enjoy it. And you don't feel guilty. And you don't feel like you're now a failure. Okay, you can't let these little slips get you down. You've got to use them to push you on. You've got to say, you know what, yeah, I enjoyed last night my anniversary meal. Okay, I had the Sunday, I had a couple of glasses of wine, I had a really good night, but now I'm going to smash it. That's the perception that you've got to have. Okay, your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. It's all about taking action, like I say, commitment, dedication, action today, not tomorrow. And rest and hydration, so recovery, is just as important as the training is. You need to ensure that you're getting enough rest or sleep. How much sleep are you getting at the moment? Okay, and proper nutrition is just as important as rest. Okay, there's a famous saying in the fitness world that there's no such thing as overtraining, there's just undereating. There's just a thing as not applying yourself with as much, not supplying yourself with as much nutrition and as much energy as you need to do the things that you're doing activity-wise. Okay, so you've got to stop making these excuses. You need to make sure you're getting enough rest, you need to make sure you're going to sleep at a reasonable time, and you've got to make sure you're eating well. And once you do that, you can train hard. Okay, so proper nutrition, proper rest is just important, and water as well. You need to be sure you're drinking loads of water. Challenge yourself to drink 2 litres a day for the next 14 days, for the next 2 weeks. Okay, even if you don't change anything else, challenge yourself to drink 2 litres of water a day and see how that makes you feel at the end of the 14 days. See how different you feel just from changing that one little thing. And we touched on this earlier, like fruit juice, healthy smoothies, sports drinks. Again, they're all full of sugar. You need to avoid them. Okay, your body breaks down sugar in exactly the same way, whether it comes from fruit or whether it comes from chocolate. It all gets broken down into glucose and it all gets used in exactly the same way.
I remember fruit juice was the big surprise when you told me about that when we started. Yeah. There was several things. Yeah, olive oil. I remember thinking I'm being good having olive oil.
Yeah.
I remember you slapping my wrist about that, and then I thought I was being great by having loads of fruit juice every day, and then you explained that one to me as well. So there again, it's this information out there, isn't it?
It's all marketed as being healthy, but guys, it's not healthy. Alcohol, okay, so it's okay for the odd occasion, but alcohol will pile fat on you like nothing else will. Okay, so alcohol has 7 calories per gram of fat, and it's your body's preferred source of energy. Okay, so when you have that wine, all the sugars, all the calories in the wine, okay, your body's going to be burning the alcohol, and it's not going to be burning the stuff in the wine. And anything you eat around the time that you've got the alcohol, all of that's going to be burnt. All of that's going to be stored as well because you're not burning it because your body's focusing on burning the alcohol. That's why alcohol is so bad for you. Okay, so a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Okay, now this is all about taking little baby steps. Okay, I've got a client that has a list that she fills in every day with a list of little wins that she's had from the day. It may be drinking more water. It may be taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Something, these little wins and how it makes her feel. Okay, now she's filled up about 4 A4 pages in a week. Imagine how much she'll have to look back over 90 days. Okay, and all these little baby steps, once you take all these little baby steps and you're focusing on the small achievements and the small wins, when you finally look back, you'll realise how far that you've come. Okay, so you've got to take action, you've got to make that first step today. It's all about action. And you need to understand your macronutrients. So they are the most important part of any diet. You can almost forget the calories. Okay, you need to time your macronutrients right to get the most out of them. Okay, so it's all about nutrient timing. So as we said before, what you want to be doing is having a high protein, high fat breakfast. Okay, something like eggs, something like smoked salmon. Okay, avocado and cheese. Something that's going to get your day off to right and maintain your metabolic flexibility. So you're metabolically flexible for the rest of the day and you can burn anything that you have coming in. You need to time that right, so then you want to have a high protein, high fat snack in between breakfast and lunch. Something like a handful of nuts. Again, another half an avocado. Something to maintain your blood sugar levels and keep that energy going. So you've got a nice, steady blood sugar level instead of rapid peaks and troughs. Okay, then you want to have a moderate carb, moderate protein lunch. You want something that has low GI, a low glycemic index. Okay, something that's not going to raise your insulin levels high. So something like couscous, brown rice, bulgur wheat, sweet potato. Something like that. You just got to watch portion sizes. And you want that with some form of lean protein. So something like chicken, cod, turkey. Something nice and lean along with that moderate carbohydrates to give you a little bit more energy throughout the day. And then you want another high protein, high fat snack before dinner. Same again as the morning. You want nuts, you want avocado, you want cheese. Something like that that's going to maintain your blood sugar levels and keep that energy high. And then dinner again is high protein, high fat. So you want some kind of fatty meat or fish. So salmon's great, steak's great. Something again that's... What the fat does is it slows down the digestion of the protein throughout the night. Okay, so if you're having protein with fat, it's slowing down the digestion. It's not getting used up straight away. Okay, now proteins, they're used to repair damage. They're used to structure the muscles, allow muscular contractions, and much, much more. Okay, proteins are essential to living. Amino acids that are contained in the proteins are essential to living. And that's why vegetarians struggle sometimes, because you've got to mix incomplete protein sources to make complete protein sources. So an incomplete protein source is where they don't have all the essential amino acids. Okay, so you've got to mix incomplete protein sources. But they're very, very important to the body. Now, carbohydrates are the only macronutrients that are not essential to life. Okay, they're not essential to life. And they're used in the body to provide energy, to regulate blood sugar and provide dietary fibre. Okay, so their main aim really is to provide the energy that you need. But then fats also provide that energy. Fats provide energy, they absorb and transport vitamins, they protect your body, they build and maintain cells, they enhance brain function, enable proper function of the nervous system, create hormones. Fats have a multitude of different roles in their body. Okay, a multitude of very, very important roles, and they help progress fat loss. If you're not having enough fat, you're not going to be burning enough fat. Okay, so why are you avoiding it? Why do people avoid fat so much? Because we've been brainwashed into thinking that they're bad for you. They're not. Fats are essential to maintain a healthy body and to get the most fat loss that you can. Because you need to really be aware of these three different macronutrients and in what quantities you're having them. Okay, and in what quantities you need them. Now, there's no such thing as spare time. There's no such thing as free time. No such thing as downtime. All you've got is lifetime. Okay, so what I'm trying to say with this quote is how many hours a day do you spend watching TV? How many hours a day do you spend procrastinating, doing things that don't need to be done? Okay, how many hours? All you need to do is apply those hours and take one of them, and use that to change your life and change your body and change your mindset and your beliefs. Okay, get to the gym in one of those hours. Miss your program, get to the gym. Okay, change your life. And the last point, and the most important point, guys, is to take action and stay consistent. If there's one thing that matters above all else, it's consistency. Okay, just think about how many years that you've spent gaining the weight that you now carry. It's not going to come off in a day. Luckily, it comes off a hell of a lot faster than it goes on. But it's not going to happen in a day, guys. Okay, maybe you've been putting on for a year, maybe you put it on for 2 years, 10 years, 20 years even. Okay? You can't expect it to come off in a day. You have to maintain the consistency. You have to learn not to let the little slip-ups get you down. and throw you off track and depress you and throw you into that cycle that we're talking about, that depressive cycle. You can't let that happen, guys. Okay, and the more of a routine that you get into, the easier and the more sustainable it becomes. So it's all about, like I say, building new foundations, creating new habits, creating a new lifestyle. And staying in bed for an extra half an hour isn't going to get you anywhere. Okay? What I want you to do is when you wake up and you're in that half state between you're dozing and you're getting up, and then I want you to run through it in your head. Remember why you want to change. So like the questions we went through earlier, why do you want to change right now? What is a goal you're looking to achieve? Run it through your head over and over for about 2 minutes. And then get up and go and achieve it. Take full action. Take 10 times the amount of action you need. Take it now. Take it tomorrow. Make sure you apply these 7 steps and you will get the results that you want. Believe in yourself. So what's your next step? What's your next step to achieving your goals? Maybe you want huge results. Do you want to save time? Do you want to save money? Do you want to save frustration and anger and depression? Okay, do you need to take it to that next level? You need that extra knowledge, that extra accountability, that extra motivation. Do you need a coach to ensure that you don't let these excuses get to you? Okay, and to ensure that you completely transform not just your life, but your body and your mind as well. So that's where we come in. This is how our VIP training works. Okay, so we have packages that start from 1 session a week and they go all the way up to unlimited sessions in our Body Transformation Centre. Like I say, it's a completely private gym. Okay, it's just for personal training sessions. There's no members of the public allowed. So when you walk in, there's none of that intimidation. There's none of that posing. Okay, and we're open 24/7. So there's no excuses for not making the time. There's no excuse of saying, okay, I'm in London, I can't get it there. I'm working late, I'm working hours, I'm working shift work. It doesn't matter. As long as we've got 24 hours notice, we get you in a session whenever you want. And you receive access to our expert nutritionist as well. So she'll run you off a diet plan. She'll run you off a nutrition plan that's completely individually tailored to your body and to your life and your career, what you don't like, what you like, around your family life. She'll tailor that around you, so it'll be completely individual to you. And we get you into our motivational community as well. Like I said, that is where our results really come. That motivation, that support, surrounding you with those positive influences, those influences that are going to push you to achieving more than you ever thought possible. And you'll receive 24/7 support as well. Okay, so you'll get my personal number. And it never, ever, ever gets turned off. Okay, and you can contact me anytime, Sunday, midnight, whatever. Any insignificant little question you have, no matter how silly or how stupid that you feel that it sounds, you can contact me and ask me. That's what I'm there for, to make sure you get the most out of your time with us. And you're never struggling or wanting for anything. And then we also give you a free session with our sports therapist. So she's extremely good. We've actually stolen her from Brighton Hove Albion Football Club. So she's extremely, extremely good at her job. We set up a free session with her. Getting a free session with the beautician that we work with. And we also give you a free session with our life coach as well. If you don't know much about life coaching, they're there to basically overcome the mental limitations and objections that you have. So breaking those bad perceptions of diet and exercise and destroying those bad relationships with food. That's what they're to do. So who qualifies? Who do we want? Who are we looking for? Okay, so you must be 100% dedicated to taking action. You should be unhappy with yourself at the moment and really have that drive to change. Be willing to give it your all. Okay, and when I set you a goal, you need to do everything in your power to achieve that goal. They're the kind of people that I want to work with. They're the kind of people that I want to train. And you need to be prepared to take the biggest step of your life. Yes, it's nerve-wracking. Yes, it might be scary, but yes, you can achieve it if you believe and if you have our help. Okay, so are you next? Are you the next person that we're going to transform your body and your life? Okay, and this is how it works. This is the way our transformation session process goes. So this is almost like an application to work with us, an application to make sure that we see that you're dedicated, that you're determined, that you're ready to take action. So there's going to be no cost for you guys on the webinar to apply for a transformation session. Okay, it's normally worth £99. It's a one-to-one personal session with me. I will take some starting measurements from you and basically build up a big picture of where you are now, where you want to get to, and find the most beneficial, the most educational, the most efficient way, essentially, of getting you to that point. And then I'm going to take you through a typical session, getting you working outside of your comfort zone, teaching you how hard you need to be working, what you need to be doing, why, when, etc. So that no matter what happens at the end of the transformation session, you know what you need to be doing. You know how you need to be moving forward to keep getting those results that you want. Okay, like I said, I need to see that you're determined. That's what I'm looking for. During the transformation session, I don't need to see any level of strength, I don't need to see any level of fitness, but I need to see that motivation and that determination within you. And then I'll go into a little bit of detail into your nutrition and why you're in this current situation, how it's affecting you, and why you want to change. And then we'll set some goals that I expect you to hit in the next 90 days, and design a package completely around you. So if you want to apply for a transformation session, guys, head down into that link at the bottom of the page that you see there, pop that into your browser, head over, fill the form in, and one of my team will be in touch with you within the next 24 hours to get you booked in for your transformation session with me. And we're also giving away a free gift, like I said, at the end of this webinar. You can download this free ebook, so it's worth £39, giving it all to you absolutely free. Okay, so 99 unknown secrets that immediately melt stubborn belly fat, supercharge your confidence, and bring happiness back into your life again. So I co-authored this with one of the best personal trainers in the world up in Bury St Edmunds. So it's a great read, very, very worth, flicking through and taking the action points that I mentioned in there, mixing them with the 7 points on this webinar, and all the action points that you've just written down throughout the last hour or so. And really action those, and don't just action those tomorrow. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do it now. Do it now, and that's the way you're going to get results. Okay, so again, just head to that link, and we'll get you a free gift. Okay, so thanks very much for staying with us to the end of the webinar, guys. I hope you've taken a great deal of information out of this. Now we're going to move on to some question and answers now. So if you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer, just pop them in the chat box. Okay, so we've got a few already. So. I work in London, I don't get home till 8. How can I fit this in? Okay guys, we're open 24/7. Okay, we're trying to make sure there's no barriers of stopping you achieving what you want to achieve. And we've completely broken that timeline. So we've got a lot of commuters that work with us at the moment, purely because we're open 24/7, so that's not a problem. We'll get you in a session whenever you want. What happens after 12 weeks is done? Does it all just disappear? No, guys, it doesn't. So after you finish your programs with us, then our aim is to educate you, and it's to build up that self-confidence, that self-belief, that self-motivation, that knowledge, so you're able to move forward and progress and keep getting off on your own, and you're able to do it without our help. That is always the aim by the end of the time that you finish with us. How many times a week do we have to come to see results? Okay guys, so we've already covered this one. So you can start with 1 session a week. You saw Lara at the beginning. She's got 4 stone on 1 session a week. Okay, I'd recommend 2 or 3. Like Justin's doing 3, he's got fantastic results. Claire's doing 3, she's got fantastic results. But you can get results from 1 session a week. It means you've got to be more self-motivated. It means you've got to have more dedication, and you've got to apply yourself more outside of your sessions with us. But that you can get it done with 1 session a week. How have you managed to stick to it so long? I think that's a question for you, Justin. How have you managed to stick to it so long?
Well, it was about progress, really. When I started, there was the issue of self-belief, and there's the issue of it's not going to work. But when you are having those measurements periodically, and therefore you see the progress, and then you notice the changes in your clothing, etc., etc. So it's a progress, that's the motivation that keeps you going longer.
Definitely.
And what all the time is working, why would you want to revert back?
So I don't like other people seeing me train. How do I overcome this? So again, we covered this with Justin earlier. So like I say, guys, it's not a typical gym that we have here. Okay, it's our body transformation centre. It's purely designed to take this feeling away and this fear away from you, just like it was taken away from Justin. Gary's building up that self-confidence, he's building up that self-motivation, and just training with a group of highly motivated, highly dedicated, like-minded individuals.
I think a difference is, in previous gyms, it's been, here's your program, go and get on with it. But because you're always with a trainer here, there's no need to feel like you don't know what you're doing, because you're doing what you're being told to do.
Yeah.
So therefore, there isn't a barrier.
And why would this work when I failed so many times before? So again, guys, this is what we covered earlier. So this is completely different. This is a different thing. So we use our unique three-pronged approach. Okay, so that's sorting out nutrition. So we set you up with a nutritionist. Okay, and then we exercise. So we're not the kind of personal trainers where you turn up, you have a coffee, you have a chat, you do a bit of ab work, and then you go home and boast to all your mates about how you've got a personal trainer. That's not what we're about. Okay, our exercise sessions are there to get you fantastic results. They're there to push you to achieving more than you ever thought possible. Okay? And then we also have the mindset work that we do, and the accountability and the support network that we have. So with those three approaches, which is completely unique to us, that's why we change people's lives so much, and that's why this works when these things have failed for people so many other times. I feel tired all the time. I just don't have the energy to exercise. So again, do you have the energy not to exercise? You're feeling tired because you're not exercising, because you're not eating right. Like Justin said, he's now changed his time so he feels he can train later in the day. Okay, do you really not have the energy? Or is it just a concoction of the stories and lies in your head that you're telling yourself and you're using as an excuse? A lot of people come here and they don't like training to start with. They say, oh, I hate the gym, I hate going to the gym, I hate exercising. You know, I always feel like I don't have the energy to turn up. Okay, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in, they're going, God, this is the highlight of my week. This is the highlight of my day. I look forward to this. I can't wait to get back here. I'm enjoying training again. I'm loving training. Okay, we completely take that out.
In terms of the energy, in terms of the food, it was there was a point where it was controlling. You know, I wouldn't want to be too far away from where I could get food because there'd be this fear. But by eating properly, you know you have energy to just carry on.
Definitely. So I have a slip disc. Other staff knowledgeable and helpful enough to overcome this? Yes, all our staff are experts. So I've got 5 body transformation coaches that work for me at the moment. And they're all fantastic. Okay, because we're such a small company, everything gets reflected back onto me. So everyone has got to be spot on. Everyone's got to be perfect. So they're all trained to a high standard. We've got a physio that we work extremely closely with. Okay, and she sorts out everything for you. Okay, so all our packages include a free session with her. And we work very closely with her on what we can and can't do with you as well. We have a lot of people that come to us with back problems, with slip discs, trapped nerves. Okay, and no one else will take them on because they don't want that responsibility. That's not about us. If you've got the dedication and you've got the motivation to change, then we're here to help change you. Every time I start something, people tell me I don't need that. But deep down inside, I know I do. It discourages me. Again, that negative influences people. Okay, you've all got these negative influences around you. You've got to almost learn to consciously try and spend less time with these people. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. But they're only going to bring you down. Just tell them, you know, I'm not happy with myself. I want to change. And why do you think that is, Justin? Why do you think people say like that?
Well, I think there's like the same sort of reasons as when you are annoyed with yourself. You project that anger and irritation on other people when you know that you are in the wrong, or you've done something wrong. You're irritated with yourself. You sometimes project that onto other people to make yourself feel better.
Definitely. So we've got time for one more, so I'm just going to go through one more question, guys. So I know I need to exercise, but I just can't find the motivation to get to the gym. Again, we covered that in this question earlier, so we change that, okay? We make you look forward to exercising again. Okay, so it's not just, oh, I've got to drag myself to the gym again, or you look forward to it. Okay, yes, it's hard, but yes, it pushes you beyond your comfort zone. But it gets fantastic results, and once you see those results, you've got that motivation again. And once you see how happy you're becoming and how successful you're coming within your body and within changing your life, that's when you start enjoying it. That's when you start looking forward to it. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for watching the webinar. I hope you took a great deal of information about that, and I hope you've got a lot of action points that you can implement tonight, tomorrow, over the next week that will really start changing your life. Okay, to get your free ebook, to apply for your transformation session, just head to the link we've got there. Okay, head to that and fill in the form. And it's been lovely speaking to you guys. Thank you very much for watching. And if you need anything, just pop me a message. Emails neil@feelgoodpt.co.uk. Any help, support, motivation you need, like I say, email me there. Drop me a message on Facebook. I'm here to help as much as possible. Okay, thank you very much, guys, and enjoy your next week.